Welcome, Ian.
Thank you.
For anyone that doesn't know you, perhaps you can start by saying which department you work in and what you do.
Yeah, I work head of supply chain. So it depends on who you ask in the business. It's either called supply chain or it's called supplier services and network services. But essentially we look after the entire supply chain that service our customers' claims essentially.
Yep.
That could be from basic repairs from escape of water all the way through to replacing the garage door. We've even got a laser cleaner on the books now.
I'm sorry, what?
A laser cleaner.
It may sound like a ridiculous question, but what does a laser cleaner do? Do they clean with lasers or do they
Yep.
clean lasers?
Clean with lasers essentially.
Right, okay.
Mainly, I see the benefits of it on sort of high net worth or old buildings where you have to protect the surface you're cleaning, because they basically run a laser over it and can remove soot, any sort of damage like that without causing any damage to the surface.
Sounds very James Bondish.
Yeah, I think that's probably why we took them on, because we were very interested in the product. It looked amazing. We've had demonstrations on multiple occasions.
No one parachuting in to do it though?
No, sadly not, no. Yeah, obviously offer a massive range of sort of services, trying to capture every need for the business, I suppose.
Yeah, and how far across the business does it go? Because we've got lots of different services now, not just from the repair network, but we've also got content. We've got jewelry, yeah, everything.
Yeah. So we've had part of the business we set up essentially as networks. So we've now got a brickwork network, is one of the newest ones we've set up. That's primarily is to support motor.
Yes.
Because obviously their impact damage is normally through boundary walls, houses, that type of thing. So we've got, and obviously they have to do recovery, so we try to keep the costs as tight as possible, so they can do a successful recovery, which is why now we've brought on contractors who have brickwork capabilities in-house and don't have to outsource.
Is that national?
Yes.
And do they just work for motor?
No, they essentially, most of them are on our network regardless, but we've made sure they've got brickwork.
They're not multi-skilled where they could do other stuff?
They are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have got some specifics that just do brickwork, but most of them are full contractors.
Right.
But they've got employed brickies, so they don't have to outsource that.
Fantastic. And any other specialist networks like that you've sort of that's evolved over the last couple of years? Because originally the business has generally been a network of multi builders that can do various lots of different things, but.
Just trying to think. We're setting up roofing separately this year to make sure if we're hit with any surge, we know we can use. We've got employed roofers, so that's becoming a specialist network. We've been a driveway one, so people who specialise in laying driveways. Yeah. We've got one, believe it or not, who does nothing but fencing. Again, attached to the motor more than anything else.
Yeah. I was going to say there's probably a limit with that in terms of the fact that a lot of fencing's not covered, is it?
Yeah, it tends to be for the impact stuff again through the motor team. So you get brickwork and fencing as part of the same claim. And
so what is your job involved doing then? Is it managing them, taking them on, looking at their data?
The team's role is essentially all of it, so from onboarding all the way through to where we have to terminate. I, being head supply chain, bit of a mixed role. I still have responsibility for every contractor in the north and Scotland. So there's about 50 contractors under my remit. Then I also manage the team. So all of our RMs, our network performance analysts all report into me as well. Yeah. And they do the day-to-day running essentially of making sure the contracts are doing what they can do. That's when Charmaine starts shouting at people for not getting their dates in.
But I mean, essentially your team is massive. Like it's not just a team of people within the business you're running. You're effectively running probably our largest team, because if you look at every single
supply chain's probably about 180 suppliers.
Yeah, and how many? Yeah, but ultimately, this is just to put you on that bigger pedestal. How many people do they employ? Well, that's your number, right? Well, why not? Because ultimately, that's
hundreds, thousands.
Exactly. I've just I don't know if I've just made a rod for my own back or.
Yeah, absolutely. You can expect the email tomorrow.
So in terms of your role, you've been here for a couple of years now, haven't you?
Been back in the business for 2 years now.
Yeah. And is there a project that you've worked on or you've been involved with your team that stands out? Something, anything you're particularly proud of?
I think probably since being back in the last 2 years, my proudest accomplishment is probably the team. and how the team's evolved and become such success and what we can offer to the business. We're always looking for ways to support the business, and where there's a gap, where can we bring in a new supplier?
Yeah.
Obviously, when I joined, Claire came on as our director. Yes. She's brought some real structure to the team.
Yes.
We're doing things really, really well. The onboarding process now is really, really slick. Yeah. You know, we can get people on in, which we used to take 6 months to get people on. We can get them inside a month now. We can get them on, signed up.
And what does that look like? That in terms of taking someone on in. I mean, how
application comes through the website, as it always has done.
Yeah.
That then gets reviewed by us if we think we need it. There's a gap in the market, or we need one of the RMs will give them a call and just have a general chat to understand the business. If that's successful, NDA goes out. Once the NDA comes back in, then we start the onboarding, which is a due diligence pack. Yeah. Involves insurances.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound particularly interesting.
No, but I mean, these things are very relevant, right? Because we're in people's homes, and we're responsible.
Absolutely,
for putting their places back together again, and it's their homes, if they are a building repair network anyway.
So Matty D is our audit expert.
Yeah.
He does audits on every exit.
Yeah, and Matt, I mean Matt, I don't know if you know how long he's been in the business for.
Yeah, he's employee number 2, isn't he?
Is that what he says?
Is he number 2?
Number 2. He might be number 2. He might be I thought he was 4, but he could be 2. Don't tell him I said that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real asset to the business, to our team as well, Matt. He's doing some great job. He's working on the scope review at the moment and things like that. He's doing,
No, he understands. He understands the business inside out.
He does.
So yeah. Worked when I was in my little lounge in my house, working from the living room.
Did he come over and work with you?
Yeah, I was working in my living room.
Was he?
Yeah. And I might have said this story before, but I remember I know we're going a bit off script, but again, we're allowed to do that, right, with the title. But I wasn't very experienced in interviewing people, right? So I probably still aren't. But when I interviewed Matt, he came over and he was a bit nervous, but I really took to him. He just struck me as a very genuine guy. Yeah. And I'd interview, and he was very smartly dressed and everything, and which I didn't need to be, but he'd made an effort. And after I interviewed him, I interviewed someone else who was a lot more confident. It came across as very articulate. Mm-hmm. But one, Matt was more authentic, but two, the other reason, this guy said, "Oh yeah, I understand. You're interviewing, or you've just interviewed my mate, Matt Davis." And I was like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You'll never believe it. He's gone out and bought a suit just for this interview." I was like, "Right, screw you. Matt's got the job." He's been with us ever since.
Yeah, he's a valuable member of the team, definitely. Yeah. He's got so much knowledge and experience.
Yeah, well, let's not say too much anymore about him, because he'll be watching this.
He will. But some of the other things I'm working on personally, obviously the team, I think they've done brilliant in the last 2 years and really offering a service now that the business can benefit from.
Yeah.
But some of the other things I'm looking at myself is just where we can sort of make things better for existing employees, company cars, for example.
Yep.
I'm looking at our existing supplier and whether or not that's still fit for purpose.
Okay.
Obviously want to bring more variety to the people who have to use those cars, make them cheaper for those people, more sustainable, but also try and save money for the business if we can.
Yeah, fantastic. And you did work for us, and then you went off and you worked in the InsurTech business for a bit. Have you got any thoughts on technology in our business, in the industry, in your department? Any thoughts on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know you're very interested in AI, and I'm trying my best to get more and more involved in AI. I'm trying to use it as regularly as possible.
Yeah.
And I've seen there is software in existence now, which I think is fantastic. They can basically map a room, give you dimensions, identify what's in the room, identify the damage. And if we can take that a step further and get AI to build a scope and ping an offer out.
I love that.
You could literally 24 hours of inspection, you could have an offer on with the customer. Just brilliant.
And I suspect that technology is there.
Yeah.
It's just about how we, whether that's affordable and how you apply that to the existing tools that you've got now.
Matt and I are looking at the moment at the possibility of AI scoping, Well, AI can produce a schedule of works
Yes.
that a surveyor would, that was, able to create an offer from.
And
Settlement.
presumably, if Matt's looking at that, you could also look at auditing.
Yeah, absolutely. Audit the schedule against the set of pictures that are submitted.
So yeah, I mean, that's really interesting because we've got an appetite to use AI in a way for the business that's going to be responsible. To use it, so first of all, to get small gains. And some of the themes, the main theme through these chats that I'm having, that there is a real strong appetite to deliver AI, to release people from doing mundane, repetitive, much we'll see unnecessary work, to being more proactive, having more time to be more proactive, being able to communicate, have more time to communicate and engage.
Keeping customers engaged and communicating with customers.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because I mean that's really a theme for this year, is where we can coordinate different parts of the business and utilise AI in that kind of way.
Well, you helped us, didn't you? We ran the existing scope through AI, and the results were instantaneous and kind of probably saved hours and hours of work.
Well, what's interesting now is we've taken someone on specifically for that purpose, who has a very broad background and knowledge base in lots of different applications. So yeah, it would be good to get him chatting with you guys.
Yeah,
because
that'd be great.
Yeah, don't hang your strategy on my little bit of knowledge about AI.
What's it called, Betty? Is it Betty?
Betty. Oh my God! You see, like, she's consistent. She's been mentioned now by me, but like, that's impressive that you know her name. We're going to have Betty sitting next to me. Well, I suppose technically she is sitting next to me. I love that. That's good. In lots of different fields, you get people who end up going into industries they never thought they'd go into. You yourself, in the time that I've known you, have obviously been in at least 2 different industries.
Yeah.
Was claims something you set out to be, or what is it? What is it when you were younger that you'd planned?
No, I think same as anybody in insurance, you fall into insurance. So you never decide that's the career
fall
path
into
I
it,
want.
fall over it.
Yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I was quite interested in going into journalism.
Oh wow!
And I'm a bit of a petrol head, so motoring journalism was going to be a goal. Yeah.
Oh wow!
But unfortunately, I didn't get the support from the teachers at the time. Talked me out of it. I think they were looking at sort of, when I said journalism, they looked at the Sun newspaper or something and just said it wasn't a career path you should follow. Yeah,
I mean, I should imagine journalism now is like, it's evolved in such a way that you could, like you say, you could go from the tabloids back then to influencers. Yeah. Like on social media now.
It's all my 9-year-old son wants to do.
Sorry?
It's all my 9-year-old son wants to do. YouTuber. That's his goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the thing is about technology, what I really find fascinating about technology, and AI is no different to the technology we've got on social media, right? I think people think, oh, well, how will that affect job roles going forward? Mm-hmm. And I think, that obviously AI will challenge certain jobs in industries, but also it will create jobs. And it will create jobs that no one has a clue about. Yeah. So what AI jobs, what roles will be developed from AI are things in 5 years' time that we couldn't sit down and even, like today, couldn't even sit down and work out. But if you look at social media, about what you just said about your son, about wanting to be a YouTuber, etc. If you rewind like 10 or 15 years ago, and you talk about what jobs will there be, going forward from the internet. Well, before social media was around, you wouldn't imagine being an influencer. But if you look at people now, that you can make a phenomenal living, and there is a career around social media, whether it's just in PR advertising, whether it's journalism, or just random, I don't know, chucking a ball off of a 20-story.
Opening up Kinder eggs.
100%.
What-
Yeah, yeah.
You know, kids
So
have made a career out of that.
yeah, so back then you wouldn't say I want to be an influencer, but now you would. So that's what I mean. So you don't know
Yeah,
what availability. So I find that fascinating.
Yeah,
I find it quite
it
exciting.
is. And it is almost technology based, isn't it? When the technology comes out, people adapt to that and
Yeah.
have careers in that.
Yeah, 100%. So that's great because that's kind of we want to see how we can adapt service with you know, the technology. Make sure we bring our people along and like I say, just get the best out of people. So release their time doing mundane things.
Yeah.
So sounds like there's a lot of room in your department. Cool. And I suppose maybe we might have touched on this a little bit, but if you had a magic wand and you could change anything in the industry, and it doesn't have to be the industry, it could be this business, or whatever, or through your experience in other industries, what would you do?
Thought long and hard about this one.
Yep.
Lots of things came to mind and whether they were appropriate or not. The kind of thing I think one of the things that I'd love to be able to change is make insurance and claims more appealing to young people.
Okay, that's a really good
We've got,
answer, actually.
you know, we've got a wealth of knowledge in the industry, but that knowledge is getting old. People are all retiring and we're losing that level of knowledge, and we're not attracting new, young, fresh people into the business. So if we can find a way to build something that gets people engaged, involved,
Yeah.
this is a career path, it is a good career path, and you should be following it.
Have you got any ideas how you'd do that?
I think, again, technology, that's what appeals to young people. So, you know, the use of AI and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
How can we build AI? How can you get involved to build AI to make the
Yeah.
claims process more slick?
Yeah, so yeah, I know, absolutely. So some, so whilst you see, so job roles would start to evolve from, you know, potentially being rather than I'm making this up as I'm going along, maybe rather than as a total day-to-day claims handler, start evolving into more of a data analysis.
Yeah.
So you start looking at patterns that are fed through.
Trends.
Exactly.
This type of claim, this type of house built on this year with this many bedrooms, the claim is always going to be, escape always going to be X amount.
Yes.
That type of data
Yeah,
analysis to
100%,
get that
100%.
information out, quick
Yeah.
settlements.
Yeah, no, I love it. Oh, brilliant. Well, that leads us to one last question, which is in that bowl, and they are random, right? So I'll let you pick that question, and it's for both of us.
I have to put my glasses on.
That's fine. I've got my glasses.
My eyesight's failing as I get older.
My eyesight. Let me tell you about my eyesight. Right, I'm long-sighted and short-sighted, right, and I've been short-sighted for many years. But I'm obviously hitting an age now where my long-sightedness is catching up with my short-sightedness, and actually my eyesight's getting slightly better because because one is pulling one back. So yeah.
So I've got that to look forward to in the next few years.
Yeah.
Hopefully, recovery of the eyesight. So the question is, what is your favourite type of exercise?
Oh, well, I mean, I know that. I mean, this is a question for both of us, but I mean, it will be no surprise. Without any shadow of doubt, my favourite type of exercise, my very happy place, is kickboxing,
Yeah.
sparring. You know, just in that moment when you're sparring with someone, you aren't thinking about the responsibilities you've got. You know, you're just in the moment.
Escapism, almost, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great form of exercise. Keeps you fit from a physical perspective, also mentally. Makes you aware. You have to think. Don't people realise that? You kind of, there's a lot of mental thinking about that. So yeah.
Do you fight at all, or is it
I
purely
have
sparring?
had. Yeah, I have had fights.
Yeah.
And competitions. I haven't for a while. I haven't got the time to put into the training.
Yeah, the training to become fight fit.
Yeah, if you don't train for a fight, there's no point doing a fight. And the training you have to take really seriously. You have to take your diet really seriously, and you have to really commit to it 6-7 weeks. I've had mixed success. I mean, my first ever fight was in it might have been like Newport. It was in a small village in South Wales, quite a deprived area. So I don't know if that was that area or not. But like I remember going go into the supermarket, and it was like all boarded up with cages, like on the outside. So it was in a working man's club, right? And I walked in there. We were the only English team. Otherwise, they're all Welsh. And the guy that I was supposed to be fighting, he didn't turn up because his wife was having a baby and he couldn't do it. So there was a guy in the crowd who hadn't done any training, but he said he'd stand in. But he was the under 19s Welsh champion.
Okay.
But he hadn't done any training because he'd been off injured. And it was my first ever fight. Even though I hadn't done any training, I got destroyed in that. I was absolute, but I have had a bit of success. But yeah, I do it now for the camaraderie, keeping fit. Yeah. How about you? So what exercise would you pick?
Yeah, I'm talking about getting older. I've got middle-aged spread because I've stopped exercising recently, but I'm trying my best to get back into it. About 5 years ago, I was probably the best shape of my adult life. Yeah. And it was more sort of HIIT routines, all that type of exercise, basically.
Yeah, it's similar to kickboxing. That's kind of, that keeps you...
Essentially, rather than just running, you're using weights and cardio at the same time. Really, really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, amazing.
Got in a really good shape, and then met my partner, and now...
It's never too late, right?
Yeah, I'm getting back into it.
Amazing. Good. All right, well, thanks very much for joining.
Thanks, Jeremy. Enjoyed that.